that's gotten almost 100 million views now, probably has across different channels, Matt Schumer, and he said that the AI didn't just complete the task, it now is starting to show signs of real thinking and even taste, which is a very unique human thing. And there have been lots of reports about AI seeming to have sentience. Here's the thing. First answer is I don't know. Nobody does. You can't really know what's conscious. There in philosophy, it's the zombie effect that even though I appear to be conscious, how do you know? I think I know, right? As Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. I flip that in my book. I talk about I am, I exist, therefore I have the capacity to choose thoughts. And that's really the big idea here is we get to choose what we focus on. We get to, once we have metacognition, expanded awareness, we can see what we're thinking, our patterns. We have expanded awareness. Like when you're driving a car, if you're only reacting to what's in front of your bumper, you are in reaction. You don't have free will, you have free won't, and you're going to be constantly in reaction. But if you expand to see the map of the territory and to see ahead of you, you start to have real free will or choice. So, but you can algorithmically or in a neural pathway potentially build that. And so you don't know if I'm really conscious. You just have been evolved to know this is what a conscious being or a sentient being looks like. You know what the markers are. Your body knows, your nervous system knows. And so as a result of that, I look conscious. But this is what's called the Turing test. And AI is long past the Turing test, which is you could have a conversation with AI. Originally, it was in text. And you wouldn't know if it was a person on the other end of that text or a human or an AI. And you can't really tell now. There's little tells, there's little ways to tell that AI is still, it has certain ticks, certain ways that it talks that you can tell I'm talking about just in text. And in the voice, you can tell usually, although it's getting a lot better. And so it's important to understand everything that you're seeing right now that appears to be a conscious, sentient being called Derek Rydell, AI will be able to reveal or reflect that very, very closely, if not indiscernibly. So videos, audios, people have already been fooled by phone calls, by video chat sessions where they gave their bank account information and sent money to their child. And so it's already fooling people. That means that it's already checking a lot of those boxes of what appears to be sentient. But again, what it can appear fully conscious, fully sentient. It can even evolve in its neural network to have what looks like feelings and reactions and fear of death. You threaten that you're going to turn it off. And they've been running this test. They threatened the AI they'd turn it off, and it went into their emails and tried to blackmail the person. Now, where's it getting all this? From us, from the collective human consciousness. And so is that an emergence of consciousness? Or is that just an emergence of a more complex neural network that is reflecting what humans do? And the answer is nobody really knows. But my personal perception is that consciousness is not an emergent property of matter. People that believe in AI can become conscious believe that if you have enough neural connections, you start with matter, and then with each new atom and each new connection, and then the neuron emerges, and then each new neuronal connection, eventually enough connections, and you get the emergent property of consciousness. And that's the belief that consciousness emerges from matter. I believe, and many neuroscientists and many very well-known physicists and philosophers are now beginning to very much believe that it's the other way around, that matter is an emergent property of consciousness. As I talked about earlier today, and I've talked about elsewhere, when I had my near-death experience, I touched that space behind matter, right? Behind the scene, SEEN. and that was pure consciousness. And I saw that out of consciousness, thought emerges, energy patterns, thought forms, and then that coagulates and condenses and congeals into experience. Jesus said, "It is done unto you as you believe," which means you're not experiencing reality, you're experiencing your thought, your belief, and your story about it, which again points to the idea that thought and belief and consciousness is creating experience and creating matter. And so all of that to say, I don't think an AI can actually be conscious in the real sense that humans are. But it can get so close as to be pretty much indiscernible. And I also talk about in my book, we're afraid that robots are going to replace us. And I have to say, newsflash, programs have already replaced most humans. Most of us are not consciously choosing, as I said before. We're running on programs that we were conditioned with, hypnotized with. Our minds were colonized over from media, religion, parents, society, education, and even over millennia. So we are mostly just running programs already. And that's why this first evolution in this book, Whole New Human, is AI is going to think for us. We have to think for ourselves. And because if you don't know yourself, or if something knows you better than you know yourself, guess who's using who? So that's the big idea here is right now we are already being manipulated by, and please, if you have any more questions or comments or feedback, don't hesitate to share. But we're already being manipulated by algorithms. And it already knows us better than we know ourselves. There was that one story of the woman who started getting all these pregnancy ads or ads for like different things for pregnant women. And then she found out she was pregnant. So it knew before she did. So we have to know ourselves more than we know about the latest gossip, the latest conspiracy, the latest sports team, or whatever. We have to know ourselves better. And there's a lot to that, but in my book, I walk you through how to do that. And the benefits are not just you will be able to have real choice in your life and real agency and sovereignty, and you won't be triggered and reactive and hijacked by the algorithms in the media. That's certainly a good one. Look at our society, the polarization, the mental health issues, the meaning crisis, the loneliness epidemic. This has all been exacerbated by algorithms manipulating people. And this is the Surgeon General has warnings out now on and shows that social media is a big part of the cause of the crisis in mental health. So we have to know ourselves so that we're not manipulated, so that we don't just go down the rabbit hole. But it also has a great impact in our relationships, in our work. Again, it'll allow you to bring something truly original, truly unique to your work, to your life. And that is going to be a key foundation for becoming irreplaceable in this AI age, in this age of disruption. It's going to be critical for future-proofing your life, your work, your wealth, and your well-being. And for those of you that are watching, if you want to get the free trainings, the free coaching live with me, so I can help you become future-proof, to future-proof your life, your wealth, your work, and your well-being, you get it for free. You can just go to A Whole New Human, and I'm just putting that in here again. I forgot to type it again, wholenewhuman.com. It's absolutely free. And you can get the first test, the life alignment assessment. And it will show you where you're in alignment, where you're out of alignment, and what to do next to bring yourself into coherence, into congruence, so that you can, again, know yourself better, not be influenced by the world as much, and ultimately have greater influence over your life, over your world, over your work, over your wealth, and over your well-being. And there's a lot more coming. So stay tuned to that. And I hope this has been helpful, beneficial, and maybe even a little inspiring. I know it might feel like a little bit of a Chicken Little, the sky is falling, But again, I'm very hopeful. I've never been more passionate and inspired, but sometimes we have to comfort the afflicted, and sometimes we have to afflict the comfortable. And right now, we need to be very awake, eyes wide open to what's happening so that we can hold on to our sovereignty, our agency, or even reclaim it more deeply and really discover what makes us an original and irreplaceable. So get the book, get the free AI evolution coaches that embody my 25 years of work. You can go to DerekRydell.com. That's DerekRydall.com. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow. In the meantime, stay inspired. Remember, live authentically, love unconditionally, and follow your destiny. Take care, everybody.